Hi, this is going to be a quick tutorial on installing Joomla along with a premium template through Cpanel. I'm gonna get going right away because I don't want to waste anybody's time. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to log into Cpanel here. Now this domain imdnet.com / Cpanel, that's where you want to go if you want to log into the Cpanel account. This is just a throwaway domain that we use to play around with a little bit. If you choose a decent host, you'll find that this is the way it's going to play out. Okay, right off the bat, when we log into that, it's going to ask us for a authentication, and I have that along the side here. So we're just going to enter our username that you get from your host and the password when the Cpanel account was created. We're going to hit OK, and this is what it looks like when you log in the first time. Don't be too intimidated. There's a lot of stuff here, but it's actually pretty good. Now we're going to upload a quick start package that comes from joomlaxtc.com. I've already downloaded this package, and I can recommend this template vendor. They are pretty good. I'm just going to show you where to get it. So we're going to go to joomlaxtc.com, hover over Joomla, go to templates. This is the one that we're going to be using, the Espresso. That's the newest one. And you'll see here that for the Quick Start Edition is $59. It's really reasonable. Okay, $59 for a template that runs Joomla, as well as this one happens to have a Virtual cart in it as well. So this is actually a combination static site, e-commerce site. So it does two jobs. $59 for that is not too bad. Now we have an account here, so I'll just hit the download button, and then it brings us to this download page. We're going to get the Quick Start Edition here. We work with Joomla 2.5, okay, because it's very stable and it does exactly what we need it to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this Quick Start Edition here from the Joomla 2.5. okay, now like I said, I already downloaded this, and it's already in my folder, so I'll just cancel out of that for now. Before you do that, what I usually do is I set up a little folder with all my files in it. This is what it looks like. It has a CMS folder where all the content management system stuff goes. It has an images file, obviously for images, notes for all the plain text and the credentials, usernames, and that kind of stuff that we need to reference every now and then. Then it has a PSD folder for all the Photoshop files, the graphic files, the images that need editing and all of that stuff. I like to keep it all together and organized so that it's easy to access if edits need to be made in future. So our template was just downloaded into this CMS folder. So we're going to double click on that. We're going to double click on that. And here we go. There's our Espresso Quick Start package. Okay. Let's go back to our Cpanel. And what we want to do here is we want to go to the file manager. So we'll click on the file manager, and every time, the first time you open up file manager, this dialog box will pop up and it'll ask you where do you want to go. You want to go to the web root, and usually you'll want to tick the show hidden files and you want to skip this question next, otherwise it's going to keep on asking you that. I'm going to untick these two because we use this domain for a lot of illustrative purposes, and this is one of the little things that we like to explain. So we're going to hit the go here. I'm just going to delete that for now. And this is basically what our structure looks like in the cPanel. I've zoomed in a bit in this browser, so it's a little bit awkward here, but it's okay. As long as your public HTML folder is selected here, you can go up, hit the upload button. That'll open up a new window, and that'll bring you to the upload page where you can browse. So we'll hit the browse button, and we'll come to collect our little Espresso Quick Start package. This is what we want to upload to the server, and this is what we're doing. Okay, so we'll double click on that, and the upload will start automatically. And you'll see this little box here. It'll show you the upload progress, and it'll show you once the upload is complete. This takes about 90 seconds on my connection, which is not too shabby. I mean, it's like 3 megabytes up, but it takes about 90 seconds. So I'm going to pause for a minute and come back when this is done. Okay, so our template package has been uploaded to the server. You can see down here it tells you that the upload is complete. What we want to do is go back to our file manager, click on the public HTML folder again. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. I hope you can still see this. There's our file. We're going to click on that file, and then we're going to go on at the top here and hit extract. This is going to unpack the template file as well as the Joomla installation on our server. So make sure that you have public HTML in this field, because we want to install it in the root. Hit extract file, and then it's going to start unpacking these files. Once it's done, you'll get a little results window here. We can close out of that, and these are the files. This is your entire Joomla installation right here. Okay, cool. But we don't have a database connection. All these CMSs, all these content management systems these days are database driven. So Joomla needs to talk to a database in order for the site to function. Okay, so we're going to create a database real quick. We're going to go back into Cpanel. This is your original login screen. I'm going to scroll down, and we'll find databases here, and we will click on MySQL Database Wizard. Okay, we'll hit that, and this is where we are. We're going to name this database. See the prefix, the prefix over there is your domain, and we're going to name this database just a random thing. TPDB. Okay, we're just going to go with TPDB. We're going to hit next step. Now it's going to ask us to create a database user. So we will go TP user. Okay. Next, it's going to ask us for a password. Now, let's not be stupid. We will use the password generator. We will hit advanced options. Change this to 18 characters and hit the generate password again, and pick one that's really nice and complicated like that. The more complex your password is, the harder it is to hack the site, and the harder it is to compromise this database. So we're going to pick one that's nice and complicated. You're going to hit use. We're going to hit the I have copied this password in a safe place, although I haven't. We'll do that next. You're going to hit use this password, and that's going to create a user. So we want to hit the create a user button. We'll remember that password in the browser for now. This step here asks us what privileges we want to bestow on this user for this database. So we'll click all privileges, but before we click the next step button, we want to save some of this information here. So we're going to go highlight that, right click copy, and what I'm going to do, remember I told you that we have that notes folder, and we're going to paste this information. There's the username, there's the password, and there's the database name. we're just going to save this into our notes folder right here as database. Those are the credentials, and we will use them, so definitely do not skip that step. You're going to save that file. I already have one there. I'll just save over that one. I'll minimize that. We have all our privileges selected here. You're going to go next step, and that'll be the creation of your database. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now we can exit out of the cPanel, and we can go to our URL, imdnet.com. Hit enter. That'll bring us to the Joomla installation page. You can see there are 7 steps to this installation. They actually go pretty quick. This is the first page. It just asks you to select your language. In our case, it's English, United States. Hit next. This top box here, make sure that everything is green. Okay, it tells you here if any of these items are not supported, then please take actions to correct them. Usually this will mean if something is no there and you're new and you don't know what to do, usually that'll mean make a call to your host. They will point you in the right direction or make whatever changes need to be made to the server if you have a decent host. These ones, don't worry too much about them. I do disagree with a couple of them, but they are not as important. As long as these ones are all green, you're good to go. So we'll hit next up there. This is the GNU public license. Like I said in the written version, I am obligated to tell you to read this. I've never read it, but we'll go next. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Now we've saved our database information when we created our database right down there. Okay, so it asks us for our username, which is that one. So I'm going to go Control C, Control V. It asks us for the password, which is right over there. I'm going to go Control C, Control V, and then it asks us for the database name, which is that one. Control C, Control V. Now with Joomla XTC templates, you want to watch out here, because this prefix needs to be changed to JOS underscore. Otherwise, this sample data that's provided by Joomla XTC is not going to load, and that is a mess. You'll have a hell of a time getting that template to look like the demo. 99% of the time, that's what you want. So definitely change that table prefix to JOS underscore. Otherwise, it just won't work. Most of the time, the database type here is going to be MySQL LI on these servers at least. If you do hit a snag here, just change these two around. Most of the time, just flipping these around will sort out whatever problem you have here. Hostname is always localhost, 99% of the time, so don't even worry about that. So let's hit next, and that's pretty smooth. That went really well. If you do hit a snag in this part of the process, it'll probably be at this database configuration. The next step is the FTP configuration, and here again, just heed the warning up here. It says most users can skip this step, and I suggest that you do, especially for these especially for these templates. There are some companies, some template providers that do require you to enable an FTP layer, and basically what it does is it allows Joomla to communicate directly with the files that you have in your cPanel, those files that we uploaded to the server. It is a security problem, so unless the template vendor tells you explicitly to enable an FTP layer, just skip this step. Okay, we're going to go next. Almost done. This is the main configuration. We'll just enter our site name here. It'll be, I'm just going to go my site name. This will be an email account. Any email account will do. Okay, but we want to make it a domain-specific email. It does add to credibility if you have a contact email on your site or on printed material, if you hand out business cards, brochures, flyers, that kind of stuff. If you have a domain-specific email, a name, a contact at yoursite.com, it does add a level of professionalism to your mission. Like I said previously, contact at mysite.com beats sexycow at hotmail.com every day. So here we're just going to go contact at imdnet.com. I'll just make that admin. Admin username. Don't use admin. It's a security loophole. You don't want to do that. Okay. We'll use Buckaroo Banzai. Password. Make that as complicated as possible. Make sure they match down here. Okay, take a breath. Now we want to install the sample data, but for this particular template we're going to dot that one. Sample Joomla XTC template underscore demo. That is this specific template's sample data that's housed in that table. The other template providers usually store that data in the default English stuff, but these guys do not. So pay attention, whatever template vendor you use, excuse me, whatever template vendor you use, there might be a slight difference here, and depending on what you pick, that'll influence the outcome of how your site looks. If you do not pick this one, you will not get the site to look like the demo, which again is 99% of the time. That's the main initial mission. So we're going to pick the sample data here and then install. That'll take a second. Excuse me. Once it's installed, this will just fade out and it'll tell you sample data installed successfully. Okay, and that's it. Now we hit next. Last step here. This is the big warning. Please remove the installation folder from the server. Definitely need to do that, and it's a one-click process. Just hit the button, remove installation folder. That'll fade out and it'll tell you installation folder successfully removed. Okay, that's it. Now we have two buttons up here. One says site, one says administrator. We're going to right click on site and open that up just to see what this looks like. This looks really good. And that's our site. That looks exactly like the demo version did on Joomla XTC. So that's excellent. And we will go to administrator here, right click on that, and I'll open that in a new tab. And this is the administrator login. We'll try that. And the password, hit login. Oh, damn it. Now I can't remember what password I used yet, but anyway, that's just the wrong password. It should be fine. And that's basically it. As long as you remember your password in that last step, you'll be fine. That's it. That's a full Joomla install. I hope this was helpful. Till next time.